Hi, Nikki Harden, psychic medium, spiritual coach, and the formulator of 21, my therapeutic grade detox program. So today I have a very important question for you. And this question is so subtle and so powerful that it can make a really big difference between you living from a place of exhaustion and burnout or living from a place of inspiration and motivation. So I see a lot of times in my clients, I mostly work with spiritual business women, and they're constantly in these perpetual cycles of highs and lows, exhaustion and burnout. And there's a really easy way to step back and really assess what's going on. So the question that I have for you is, do you have something to prove, or are you living your purpose? Because if you're living your purpose, that purpose is to be true to yourself. So let me help you understand a bit what I'm talking about. This is a little of a vulnerable share, but you'll really understand. So I grew up in a single parent environment, right? I was raised by my mother. We didn't have a father, and we were extremely poor. Well, I had a lot of shame around that. Not only did I have shame around that, but I had learned very early on that if I wanted to do anything with my life or I wanted anything, I had to earn it. I had to go for it. So I strived. I made it my mission to be the absolute best at everything and to win. And I did. Yet in that process, what got so ingrained in me was this external seeking of validation and this misbelief that I could earn my worthiness. Here's what happened, okay? As I got older, that got so wired in, but it happens at such a subtle level you don't realize. Because, see, that had gotten so ingrained in me, and what I saw on the outside was a lot of success. I was able to put my mind to something and work really hard and go for it and win. And so I had all of these amazing things happen in my life. But what I didn't have was stability, consistency, and a centeredness inside of myself. So what ended up happening was I was in these vicious cycles of highs and lows where my self-esteem was constantly being defined by what was happening outside of me and if I was winning at the game. Right? And my internal worthiness was constantly, and my emotional happiness was dependent upon seeking validation from other people, invitations to parties, all kinds of just interesting expressions of this underlying misbelief that I had something to prove, that I could actually earn my worthiness. And that would often leave me pushing myself to win the next big thing. But guess what? Before I would even win the next big thing, first of all, I'd crash. And then I was still never good enough because there was a next big thing after the big thing that I was still working towards. So there was constantly this perpetual cycle of striving, exhaustion, burnout, like go, crash, go, crash, burnout. And my self-esteem and my emotional barometer was all over the map. And so once I got really clear on that and I took a step back and I did all of the healing work and I started living true to myself and realizing that doing what was right for me and was actually living my purpose, that expressing myself and my values and then bringing those out to the world to help people is my truth. That's actually living my purpose. And so that's a lot of what I do with my coaching clients, and I see it with them a lot of especially the business women who are running around all the time like crazy women, constantly feeling like they're behind, they can't get ahead, they're exhausted, they're depleted, they're not taking care of themselves physically, eating properly, all of these things because they're constantly striving. And so when we take that step back and they can really start to see what's going on and they start living, letting go of the seeking validation, letting go of a need for approval, letting go of people pleasing, and moving into a place of taking care of themselves first, they realize they have so much more to give, right? And then, so what's really beautiful is that when you get to that place where you are actually expressing yourself authentically and letting that fuel everything that you do, it's a very subtle shift. And there's a lot of healing, and there's a lot of different ways, whether it's romantic, friendship, community and service, profession, family. However, there's a lot of different areas that we look into to untangle those webs in order for my clients to get back to their center, right? So that they can be strong in their center, because that is truly living their purpose. And then from there, once they're living from that place and honoring themselves and expressing themselves and doing what's right for them, they can share that with the world, and their confidence builds because they're no longer needing validation outside of themselves, or their high and low and happiness is no longer dependent upon the circumstances that are happening outside of themselves in their lives. And so that's when things really start to manifest beautifully and seamlessly and in flow, and it's such a gift to be able to watch it and help them in that process. And then when it comes to working with my detoxers and how this manifests with them, is a lot of women come to me, and when we go through this detox, through my 21 cleanse program together, they heal their relationship with food. They heal their relationship with their body, because they let go of that attachment, that need to prove something by having a specific body image, by getting into the skinny jeans, by looking a certain way and trying to fit into someone else's mold. Because if you're doing that, you're always going to be too skinny for one person or a little too chunky for another. So when you heal these places inside of yourself, you're so centered, and you realize that your purpose is actually being true to you, to taking care of yourself, to doing what's right for you. And it's so beautiful to watch it with my detoxers when they finally come to realize, oh, it's important for me to choose these foods, and because it's me taking care of me, it's me doing what's right for me, and that feels good. And I feel good in my body because I'm doing the right things. And then they feel better about themselves, their confidence, their self-esteem boosts. And so that transcends out into the world. And so people start saying, what are you doing? You look amazing, number one. And then number two, they start actually taking action on the things that are important to them in their lives, like building their business, like getting out and hanging out with friends. So they're like out in the market, meeting new men. So it's just so beautiful to watch. And so I just ask you, for you, where in your life are you seeking validation? What do you have to prove? And can you ever really prove it? Because that's going to be totally subjective depending on your audience. So ask yourself, avoid burnout and the highs and the lows and the anxiety and the stress. Find your center, live from your purpose, be true to yourself. I'm Nikki Harden. If I can be of help, if you're struggling with some of these issues that we've been talking about, whether it's your body image and, making the right choices for you, or if it's in your life and all of the destructive thought patterns and the ways that those are being expressed into your life, let me know. I'm here to help. You can find me at nikkiharden.com. It's really easy to get in touch, to book a call. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm Nikki Harden on the Instagram feed, and I'm sharing tips and tools every day in my live feeds, and a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. Please leave a comment. I love it, and have the most amazing life ever.